Hmm. It's been a pretty good year for movies. It's been a pretty good year. Hello everybody, TheShadowedOne1 here, and here is my pick for my top 10 movies of 2015. And my list might be a little decisive among some people, but I had to choose about 15 movies that I thought were probably the best of the year. So without further ado, let's get on with the review, shall we? At number 10, Terminator Genisys. I really loved this movie. I don't understand the hate for it. I loved how it kind of harkened back to the first Terminator and the second film, and it kind of ignored 3 and Terminator Salvation, even though I love Salvation. It brought back Arnold as an aged T-800. It had some questionable actors, but come on. I mean, seeing Arnold fight it out like the good old days was just awesome. And then seeing this great combination of practical effects and animation to create these Terminators again that we all love, that Stan Winston, to see his creations come alive once again on screen, I'm pretty sure he would have loved it. I mean, James Cameron loved it. Terminator Genisys is my pick for top 10 on this list. Number 9, Black Mass. This is a really good crime, biological, that's not making any sense. It's just a really good film. Johnny Depp gives one of the best performances he's ever given in like the longest time I can remember. But this is one of those performances where he's just absolutely terrifying, and he sells the character of Whitey Bulger, but he just really sold the performance, and without him the movie would have just been another kind of boring movie. That's why it's number 9 on my list. Number 8, Bridge of Spies. Okay, I had to include a Spielberg movie on this list, but I really love this film because it just felt like a Spielberg movie. It felt like a movie I would watch back in the 70s or 80s. It just felt like it was shot on film, I believe, and Tom Hanks gives another great performance, another great edited film by Michael Kahn, who's one of the film editors that I look up to when I edit my films. And Spielberg, of course, directs this film to perfection. Now, why isn't it higher up on this list? It's a slow burn movie. It's so greatly acted, and the story is great, and you really fall in love with the characters and the relationships in the film. At number 7, Spectre. I remember when I worked at the theater when Spectre came out, every time I ripped tickets, because I'm a doorman, I ripped tickets to the theater, I always did Spectre, welcome to Spectre. Well, I loved Spectre. I loved it incredibly. It felt like a good old-fashioned James Bond film. Was it as good, better than Skyfall? No, because Skyfall was the movie that made me a big Bond fan in the first place. But seeing Spectre, it just was awesome. Seeing it on the big screen, it had this culmination kind of feel where all the films of previous combined into one and came to this epic conclusion. But is it a conclusion? We'll find out if Daniel Craig comes back to do another film. Probably not, because he doesn't really like to do anything like that. Spectre is number 7 on my list. At number 6, Mission Impossible, The Rogue Nation. Now, this is probably a little bit better than Spectre because they both share the same kind of plot thread, being the evil organization that, is in the shadows and doing all these horrible things. I mean, but Mission Impossible technically did it first. The film had a little bit more intrigue than Spectre did. It had a great story, of course had the great characters, and Tom Cruise does the craziest stunts in the movie. I don't know how he survives all these stunts. And I'm really excited where they take it next because they've already confirmed that the director of Mission Impossible 5 is going to be coming back for the 6th one. It was greatly acted. It was greatly shot. It was edited. I mean, I'm just talking about production values and stuff like that. But overall, the movie just felt really just perfect. Why is it not higher up on the list? Because there's movies that I just loved far more, and we're getting to that. We're getting closer now to the end. So Mission Impossible Rogue Nation is number 6. Number 5, Creed. I really loved Creed when I first saw it. I was like, okay, it's probably just going to be a remake of Rocky, and it's just going to be kind of retreading. And luckily it was not. It was a film that was a spiritual sequel to the Rocky series, the ones that came before, and at the same time pushed it in a new direction with Michael B. Jordan. And by the way, that guy, Michael B. Jordan, is an incredible actor. We can officially forget about Fantastic Crap because this guy has proven that he's Oscar worthy. And Stallone. Stallone. The dude gives such a great performance. People just hate on Stallone because he's an action star and all, but honestly, this film proves that he can act the hell out of a script. If Stallone does not get nominated for Best Supporting Actor for Creed, it's going to be an absolute crime because he just gives such an Oscar-worthy performance. And Michael B. Jordan, it's just the performances in this movie drive this film. In fact, and some of the cinematography and the way it's shot. In fact, there's one scene in the movie where the two characters are fighting and it's just one continuous shot. no cuts whatsoever, and the entire fight is like that, and it was incredible seeing that. And I guess, God, that's why Creed is high up on this list, because it is one of the best movies of the year, and I definitely recommend it. Number 4, The Martian. When I first saw the teaser trailer for this movie, I knew it was going to be a good film. I knew it was going to be another classic Ridley Scott, and it absolutely blew me away. And it's kind of what I like to call a return to form for Ridley Scott. But this film was absolutely perfect. It had the greatest performances. It's a movie for science people, but it's also just a movie for movie lovers. And Matt Damon just gives another Oscar-worthy performance. If he doesn't get nominated for Best Actor, it's just going to be another crime, just like Stallone will probably not get nominated for Best Supporting Actor. It's just such a good movie with such a great cast, with such great editing and music. It's just one of those films that you're just going to watch again and again and again, because it is a great movie. All right, everybody, 3 more films left to go. And what is number 3? Well, you guys can all guess what this is. Mad Max: Fury Road. This was my favorite movie of the year until a certain movie came out the next month. Mad Max: Fury Road is one of those films that just is absolutely 100% perfect in every single way. I mean, the acting, of course, it's just Tom Hardy going, well, besides that, the movie is an absolute masterpiece in art. It just has everything. It has the great directing, the great editing, the great sound, the great cast, the great art design, the production design, the visual effects, the practical effects. It has everything that a film needs to be good. And George Miller, this franchise hasn't been touched in over 30 or 40 years since the last Mad Max movie he did, like so long ago. He came back and absolutely perfected it. Blew the other, in my opinion, this Mad Max is almost as good as the other ones, and I think it's just better. It's just one of those films that its visual effects are so seamless, you don't even notice. The production design, and Morton Joe is just one of those villains that will be forever ingrained into my mind, and I'll never forget that Rise from the Ashes of This World line. And Charlize Theron, Tom Hardy, they can make just such a great combination. And then the actor who plays Nux is also one of the best characters I've ever seen in film. And also the music from Tom Holkenberg, aka Junkie XL, is also still incredibly awesome. Let's have a listen for a second. Awesome. Mad Max Fury Road. And that is why Mad Max Fury Road is number 3 on my list. Here we are, the final 2 movies of 2015. At number 2, Star Wars: The Force Awakens. After seeing the film twice, and because I work at a theater, I get to see certain scenes as many times as I want. Force Awakens is not number 1 on this list because it is a slight rehash of A New Hope and the films before, but it is 10 million times better than the prequels. There's something about this film that just feels so epic and legendary, just like Mad Max. It just feels like the good old days. It feels like I just walked into 1977 and watched A New Hope in theaters. I guess it really is a good thing that is a rehash of A New Hope, but at the same time, just J.J. Abrams and everybody just did such a fantastic, incredible job making this film. And because of it, it's made over $1 billion. It's gonna push Avatar off that top spot. I'm telling you, it's eventually gonna kick that thing off. But that's not the reason why it's such a good movie. It just has everything. It has the great writing. You have Lawrence Kasdan. You have J.J. Abrams. They made a fantastic script. They made fantastic characters. They had a fantastic story, despite being a rehash. But it's not really. It's a rehash with tons of new elements, with the characters of Rey and Finn and Kylo Ren. And even Poe Dameron, like all the actors and all the new actors are so incredible. I just love them. Everyone's so extremely likable. And then we have the new cast by Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill. Oh God, it's just there's no more to say. There's really no more to say. And that is why Star Wars: The Force Awakens is my number 2 on this list. Here we are, everybody. At number 1, we have Jurassic World. Did it really surprise you guys that Jurassic World was going to be number 1? I mean, I've kind of been telling you that. Jurassic World is just, by far, hands down, when I saw it on IMAX 3D opening night, it is my favorite film of the year. Nostalgia out of the way, I'm a Jurassic Park fan. Deep down in my heart, I've just always been a Jurassic Park fan, more than a Star Wars fan. Who's sequel to Jurassic Park, ignoring Lost World, Jurassic Park 3. I still love those 2 movies, but Jurassic World just brought the franchise back into this generation so that people can see dinosaurs again. It brought dinosaurs back, made dinosaurs awesome, and also gave us Rexy back after seeing her for 22 years. That final, I'll tell you, that final fight is easily the best scene I've ever seen of the year. Probably one of the best final fights of all time, and the fact that it was done in one shot. Here's a brief glimpse. As you can see, it's just, the moment the film sold me is when Ty opened up the gates and you could see Jurassic World and we had the music, the John Williams theme playing. That's when I knew the film sold me. I was absolutely sold, and then the rest of the film didn't disappoint. Any flaws I had with the film were just kind of overridden by just the fact that I could witness dinosaurs be on screen again, and seeing my favorite dinosaur of all time come back and kick the hell out of a mutant dinosaur that deserved to get its ass kicked. But that's just me. That is why Jurassic World is my #1 film of the year. It just had everything: the editing, the visual effects, the acting, the story, and the production value. Everything was just it had a great team. Everyone loved it. Spielberg and Frank Marshall, the producers, and Colin Trevorrow. If it could have been in the hands of anyone else and failed, but Colin Trevorrow really created a film that was one of my favorite films of the year, and it brought back the nostalgia of seeing dinosaurs once again on the screen. I hope you guys enjoyed my top 10 movies of 2015. Let's get ready for 2016, where more movies will be coming out, and we'll probably do reviews of those too. So, I'll be seeing you guys later, and thank you for watching. Play the Jurassic Park theme!